Yeah.
all the Maplin catalogues. Look at that bad boy, bought the RS catalogue. Oh yeah, look how thick that is. 99 pence. Oh look, we've got a giveaway as well. We've got this to give away, haven't we?
So we are Jamie.
Hello.
I've got a question for you.
Have you really, Sam? Is it don't swear again? Is that what you're gonna tell me? Because I've been
No,
swearing
no,
on the
no.
order.
Like I've got a question just generally, actually. Is there
Is it?
another colour? Is there another colour? Yeah, that you can sleeve earth in.
Yes.
Oh, here we go. Go
There's
on. What?
three colours, Sam.
What? What is it?
Well, which one do you want to know first? Normal earthing is green and yellow, 30% yellow, 70% green. The second one is cream, which was a functional earth, and indeed is still a telecoms earth for you telecom people out there. And you can also use pink, which is the new functional earth. Anything else?
You must have saw my live earlier in the week,
No,
though.
literally, I know that. I teach, don't I? I teach. I have to know these things. I keep.
When did Pink Earth come out?
To be honest, Sam, even I knew that.
No bollocks.
They
Listen.
made a big thing about it.
Right, hold on. Fucking seagulls, bro.
It was it cream? It was cream. Functional earth was cream, but they made it pink for some reason. I don't know why.
No,
Yeah,
so,
wasn't that in Amendment 2?
So all I know is, for example, if you are installing fire alarm cabling, that earth should be, that's not an earth, that should be pink. That's a functional earth. So if you
Right.
install a socket, obviously all normal earth, all sockets and stuff are green and yellow. Like fire alarms, though, that's pink now.
So I'm on site, yeah, and I heard about this maybe at Christmas. We're talking about doing networking, doing an installation of networking. My mate Darren goes, "Well, that should." He talks like this. He goes, "That should actually be pink because that's what you use is pink."
Good one, Darren.
Like,
you're right.
And I was like, "Yeah, that's." I've never heard of that. So you chat shit. Anyway, turned up on this job this last week. It's working in a school. It's like a new build school. And I've been put on doing the fire alarms, like not the fire alarms, but a certain small part of doing the door closing part of the fire alarm. It's so boring, unbelievably boring, yeah. And I was getting my green and yellow out, and there's like, oh no, you got to use pink. And I was like, what? There's like, yeah, you got to use pink. And I'm like, really? What? When's this a thing? How do I not know about this? Anyway,
Don't know.
So I walked around and I asked every other. There's 25 electricians on site. No one knew about pink.
That's because people don't keep up to date because they don't, which they should. A little bit. That's what CPD is all about.
If we've never spoken about it,
true.
How the fuck can normal people have spoken about it?
To be fair, we probably would have spoken about it, but me and you were having a major fallout, so that's why we didn't speak about it. That was in the
but that wasn't when it come out.
Dave, you're an ex-telecoms man. Cream is earth, isn't it? Functional earth in telecoms.
In telecoms, yes, but I think pink came out in Amendment 2, and I'm pretty sure I did a video about the changes to Amendment 2 where I perhaps mentioned about that.
No one watches your videos, Savery.
I watched them all. But no, that's what the CPD is meant for, isn't it? That is what CPD is meant for. The amount of people, I'm on an 18th edition today, every course I do, I say to people, has anyone read the electricity at work regulations? And the resounding answer from everyone is no. I was like, I always think, there's one legal document that covers the job you do, just one, and you've never read it. No one's ever read it either. Why is that? That's the favour.
I know about it.
Yeah, but surely you'd guide someone. I always guide my students through. This one.
Why? Why is it important? No one cares.
Well, that's so when you want a tester and you're trying to get your employer to buy it for you. You could throw that document at them. It works both ways. It's not just something you need to know. Something
no one cares about it.
That's why people get paid peanuts, then, isn't it? Like, because they don't care. That's why people don't care. So that's why you're scurrying around for scraps and can't get pink earth in, and I'm a big player. You know what I mean? Because I know the shit.
Right, hold on. First of all, you teach, right? You know what they say about teachers? Those who can't teach. So shut the fuck up. Secondly, right? Everyone bangs on about the Electricity at Work Act like it's some big
regulations. It's called the Electricity at Work Regulations 1989. Free download.
Fuck.
This is the thing you see. I'm a dead good spark. Tell me about the Electricity at Work Regulations, the one legal document that covers you. Oh, I don't know fuck all about that. Well, fuck off then. Oh, I'm a dead good plumber. Tell me about water. Oh, don't bother with water. What the fuck? There's only one thing you do, dickheads. You don't know about it. Like, just read the electricity work regulations. I'm going to do a video on it on YouTube. No one will watch it. And then they'll moan. Honestly, my go-to when I used to
I
do
thought
job
it was all
interviews,
cutting edge with. I thought it was all cutting edge with pink,
straight up, right? My
pink
go-to,
seating.
my genuine go-to in a job interview is just go, just tell me, because you get a question when you sit on the phone, I'll just go, just tell me how the electricity work regulations affects your day. And people just go,
but that's one of
people
them
just go,
dickhead moves, isn't it?
no, is it? Because like I'm just asking you a question about a document that you've all got to read and should know about. Just tell me how it affects your day once. Oh, I've never read it. So you come here for a job as an electrician, you never read the one document.
I had a job interview once. I had a job interview once when I first moved down here, actually, and he said, if I had if I wanted to put a 1,000-watt shower on and a 32 amp breaker, what size cable would I use? I was like, I don't know. I was just looking in the on-site guide. Apparently, that was not an acceptable answer.
Well, that is its referencing. But when I see people,
well, you answer it then, bro.
When I see
what size cable would you use?
Because you made up a number, it won't work. When a 1,000-watt shower wouldn't even get warm. Like, but what I'm saying is, I had a guy with a black card, SMSTS, triple manager, never read the electricity work regulations. I'm like, mate, you can't do your job properly. Anyway, Dave, how are you?
Wait.
Oh, good evening, chaps. You all right?
Dave, when's the last time you read that EAWR or whatever it is?
I got a copy just over there, mate. It's not even a very thick book.
No, it's not, is it?
But,
so why?
So it's one to be aware of.
Covers permitting, isolation. Why did you ask Dave that question when clearly in his camera shot he's displaying the correct health and safety at work poster on his door and there's a fire exit logo on his door. So he's clearly compliant with all.
That's not even a fire exit though.
Dave, you know what? It was because I had a work experience kid in from college, and the college, this is years ago, actually came round to make sure that I was fully compliant. So I had to go on and buy. They cost me over 20 quid. Those fucking.
I've literally got one here doing the same job, like just being a post for being a post. But the rules aren't there. Like, what do you want to do?
Yeah. So you know.
Right.
Anyway.
What
it's nice to have you back, chaps, even though that was a boring fucking 10-minute opening. It's
been a while,
hasn't it? It's been a while since the three amigos were here.
It was boring for you, but the viewers might like it.
In fact, you know, we should have a team building exercise just to ease ourselves back into it.
Go on then.
Into the fray. Something every red-blooded male ought to be able to do. We should have a bit of an Arnie off. I'll go first. Okay, ready? I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle. Jamie?
Get to the chopper!
I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle.
Come on, Sam, give us one.
Dave. You just copied. You can't copy Dave's.
No, it's got to be unique.
Stick around, Bennett.
That's the Predator as well.
No, it's not. That's from Commando.
I need to give a shout out to I've just seen on Instagram. In fact, the chat's got now. Yeah, this is genius. You know, every now and again on Instagram, someone would do something that is so next level genius. It's surely to be copied by lots and lots of people. Yeah, Jay the Spark just been on this. He's been on this show before. Follow on Instagram. He's
never wants to come back on though, does he?
I keep me interested. Jay, come back on the show. He has just put. He has been out and purchased. You know, you get the drill pods for your drills from that firm that I don't like. To put, it's like a pencil case for your drill bits. Yeah. He decided to go and purchase something similar for his grinding discs. What did he buy?
CD case.
He bought a CD case and put on his grinding discs, and I think that deserves to be recognised. That's the first time I've seen it done, and that is a quality.
Why am I so smart?
Mate, you could have done that. Like, you've lost out now, haven't you? That's a good one. It's a pencil, like people who buy drill pod, just get a pencil case. You know, I use my missus' makeup bags. Not the one she's used, but just put drills in them. Easy peasy.
Why are you dumb? Why don't you just get like a proper set of set of boxes that you can put shit in?
Oh yeah, I always have I have a set the drill tips. That was a bit for all my loose ones. Just have a old makeup case.
I got gifted. I got gifted a. Is it the T-Stack Freeze or not T-Stack? That I don't know. They're like big. They're like I don't know. They're big drawers, and they've got loads of.
Oh yeah.
They're DeWalt ones. They are the bollocks. Trust me.
I like a DeWalt drawer. I'm not a Makita. What are you like, Dave? What are you rolling with now? How's work, Dave?
after
Just generally, you know what I mean? We'll get to a chit chat with the guests because you're there.
I'm back on my my Stanley toolboxes that I've had for years, and they got relegated to my attic for quite a while. And then when I got my DeWalt box nicked, I went back to using them.
Oh, wait, have you had more stuff nicked, have you?
No, that was last year, February last year, but I went back to using them after that. So I'm not buying another bloody toolbox. I've got two in the attic.
I like to pass these things on and give away that, but obviously with the risk of getting robbed, you sort of have to keep like a whole second stock, don't you? It's wild.
Well,
I didn't get rid of a screwdriver.
I'm still using. It's funny, right? I never recovered from getting my tools stolen because my tools got stolen in January. As everyone knows, not had the greatest year, and work's not been the greatest since Christmas. It's been very odd out there. Certainly in my neck of the woods, it's been very odd. I've been talking to a lot of people about it, and yeah, so I haven't managed to buy any new shit. I haven't even got a grinder at the moment, and I really do like a grinder.
I know you haven't, and that's obviously because it's quite recent, but I don't think anyone ever recovers from having the hand tool stolen. I mean, there's always. Do
you know what though? I had a win the other day. I had a fucking win, right? And I know this is so dumb.
The planets aligned. What did you get?
I was rooting through my shed in the front garden, and
it's a knife. It's going to be a knife.
No, it's not a knife. And years ago, I got gifted brocket sockets. You know, they're for the like for bushes and stuff. They're like a socket that goes on a bush. Well, I thought they got nicked with my tools. You know, I'm rooting through an old tool bag, and I found them, and I was so chuffed because I was so screwing because I would never buy them because I'm too tight to spend 50 quid on these two stainless steel ones because these are the good ones, like the very first batch that ever got made. And I was like, I'm so glad I found them because there's the little things that you miss the most out of your tools. Like having your power tools nicked is a pain in the dick, but it's not the end of the world. More so, the end of the world is all your little bits. When you go to your van to get your stuff and you're like, oh, I've got one of them, and you ain't anymore.
I try not to carry anything that can't be replaced. You have bits that are like old, irreplaceable. My main tool tray, because I use a tote tray because I'm a tramp apparently, that I just someone's put up outside. I keep stuff in there that I can buy off Amazon. You know what I mean? It's not irreplaceable. Obviously, with some jobs you have to take certain things that you can't replace, but I make sure I look after them all when I'm out and about because it's just harrowing to lose that stuff.
Did you ever replace your MFT, Sam? You lost your MFT Pro, didn't you?
No, I haven't really had a need for it, to be honest with you. Yeah, I should have one. I haven't been able to replace anything. So, yeah, I'm not even working for myself anymore. So I am as just a subby now.
I won't even pull to an Audi, mate. It's that, because obviously you got done and a few people got done. I'm training at the minute in Rotherham. Don't say anything. It's a bit of a dodgy area. Coming home, I go past now and I'm like, oh, I'm only doing 18th edition. I've got a few regs books in the back. So I could go into Audi, but if someone broke in, nick the box they're in, there's like every regs book going back to like the 15th edition bar 3.
Why would you carry them around with you?
Because I'm teaching 18th edition, dick, and it's like a talking point. But just to replace them would probably cost me.
I bet your students are like, this dickhead's he's bought all of the regs since 1962, and he's not even that old. What a dick. What a melt. Who is this melt? Come in, teaching me about the fucking 13th edition. This brick with his checkered plaid shirt on, come in, show me historical artifacts.
The thing is, though, Sam, you've got to have some.
I just want my 18th edition. I don't give a shit about the 15th.
You've got to have some idea of where you've come from. Otherwise, you won't know that things have changed, like pink functional earthing coming in.
Chapter 42.
Just tell me what I need to know to upgrade to my shit so I can get paid.
Well, every site you go to isn't necessarily going to be 18th edition. You've got to have some kind of working knowledge of what came before.
You've got to have a bit like, is it chapter 42 or 43? You got to swallow up into the chapter that just says not used. People go, why is that not there? I'm like, oh, why don't we look at this book and we'll find out? Rather than going, don't matter, because I'm a wank tutor and I just pay everyone. I don't teach to pass. I teach people to learn. That's my USP, which seems to be lacking though. I've had 3 people past week just describe how wank the tutors were in other courses. And I'm like, I'm on the internet. If you go to, I'll say this now, yeah. If you've had me on a course and you go on my YouTube and you put, I was on this course with him this date, and you put anything, I won't delete it. If you put it's a silly fat cunt, oh sorry, I won't delete it. You know what I mean? My word is my bond. I don't hide my reviews. You can review me directly with the trainer I work for, or review me directly online.
Didn't your
But
last
no
video
one-
show some kind of sherbet use?
To be fair, I'm surprised. I'm surprised to get employed by anyone, if I'm honest. But I do. Maybe I'm changing the game. You know what I mean? I try and be a Sparky. My only aim on YouTube and in training is I am pleasing myself. As in, I am being the kind of tutor that I wanted when I was 21. So that's it. That's all I do. I don't do anything other than that. I'm like, would I like this when I was 21 or trading? Yes, I would. Do some people get offended? Yes, they probably will. Do I get worried when certain high-ranking members of the companies I work for are on LinkedIn? Yes, I do. So, but we'll ride it till the wheels fall off. You know what I mean? But training's so shit. Training is so shit. There are people out there that are so shit at it that me coming in swearing and just generally being a Sparky seems to go down quite well. Because I don't know about you, but I like being taught by other Sparkies who know what they're doing.
It's real world, isn't it? Like it or not.
I had a good experience at Napa the other week. I went for a batch course. Guy there had been self-employed. Got himself
is this
in
the
training.
E5 podcast or what?
Very knowledgeable.
Shut
Why
up.
can't we be nice? Why are you
Fuck
such
up.
Let's talk about Sam's Dodo again, because that's what he said. But no, you know what I mean? If someone's doing a good job, we should shout about it, because we're always slagging up people who don't do a good job. Then when we find something good, we should say.
I think I'm on one tonight, though. I just am. I
think it's probably because you had to the poo before the podcast, isn't it?
No, I have poo in the morning.
Dave's watching the podcast. That he's actually, Dave, you're on this podcast.
I'm paying attention to the chat mongs, and someone's asking about the new Fluke 1670. Anybody seen it yet?
Yeah, it looks wank.
Jamie will bum that for sure.
I thought he'd be all over Fluke.
No, Jamie was the one who helped develop it. In fact, when he worked in a concrete cement plant for Elon Musk before the spaceship took off, he was the one who invented the 1670
just gone over to
and then bummed it off.
This is it, right? This is the Robin KTS 1620, right? This tester, if it worked, it doesn't work, does every single thing modern testers do. All right, it hasn't got an automatic RCD test, but in my opinion, right, Megas are okay. I know people who use Megas always use Megas, yeah? And Flukes are okay. I know people who always use Robin and Fluke use Fluke, right? The Mega, the Rob, you know, I ain't got one show, but you know the Megas, the 17 range, people love them. People like them, and the 15 range. The Fluke 16 range, people love them. They're just basic, yeah? For both Mega and Fluke, yeah, there was no need for them to make it with a colour screen. All they are doing is making new shit up to sell, because this tester that I owned 20 years ago is still personally functional to the regs. Every test they bring out is now just a marketing gimmick.
You know what I'd like to do with that tester?
Tell me I'm wrong.
I'd like to smash that tester and make you cry.
I don't care, but this is it. Nothing's changed. In fact, this has got a 5 times RCD test on it that you no longer need. So in fact, testers, whilst the number of tests required is diminishing, testers now got Tetris on all this shit. The X1, the Fluke one with the colour screen, all they are is battery eaters.
Have they actually got Tetris? What one's got Tetris?
No, that's because they've got colour screens. You couldn't put Doom on them. But what I'm saying is they don't need any of that shit. They're just marketing gimmicks.
The thing is, it only takes one manufacturer to do it, then all manufacturers feel they need to do it.
Yeah,
Showban's is colour. There's a new dialogue coming out, that's colour. Martindale's new one is colour. It's just the way of the world.
Chauvin I knew were probably first to the thing, but no one, they're not a big in the game.
No, wait. Who was the first to the game?
What, in the actual general, like the popular ones, was probably Q-Tech.
No, it was Metro with the colour screens.
Yeah, it probably was Metro, yeah.
Their one was $3.5 grand back in the day, wasn't it? Like, it's a proper, like, it's all singing, all dancing. Do you know how I know? No, wait, fuck. Wait,
there's the MFT Pro, actually.
Yeah,
Pro.
TIS.
But that's not a TIS, it's a meter bought in, isn't it? It's a rebranding, isn't it?
It's made by HT Italia, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, but TIS is the HT Italia brand name in the UK, because ain't no one buying a something called HT Italia.
No, but I think that HT one was genuinely like, we're just going to do this because it's better for us, our test, because that is a unique form factor, no argument about it. The Chevron is a unique form factor, no argument about it. The X1s and the Fluke one, now it's like, oh, quick, we need to ram a colour screen in this. And it'll be riddled with bugs.
Yeah, no, but I think the TIS, MFT Pro and the Mitrel, I don't know who come out first with the colour screen. Do you, Savo?
I think I had my TIS MFT Pro 2019. I didn't get my hands on the Metral until a good couple of years later, I don't think.
Fucking, why do I need a graphics card in my fucking tester? You know what I mean? It's no need.
I do. Listen, it's not often we agree, but I do agree on that. Like, it's just keeping up with the Joneses. It's like, it's kind of, when you look at like a 15 series Mega, yeah, it does look like it is from 1980.
But that's got, see,
so
this one,
does
this is slow, but it works.
That looks like it is actually from the 80s. That actually has got even the colouring and the writing is from the 80s. It looks like something that should have been in Buck Rogers.
I peaked when this test was out. You know what I mean? When this test was out, I was at my peak of physical fitness. That's it. But it still works. All right, you've got to jiggle through the RC test, do it all manually, but who gives a fuck?
I think if you got that out now, people would be like, oh, that's cool. That's a retro one.
It doesn't actually work. Oh, hang on. I've got an even older one, look.
So the nice thing about those is a small form factor. I do like the little lunch.
Look at that. The KTS 1630 as featured on Dave Savery's channel.
Like, do you actually go and buy these, or do you get?
Yeah, I go and buy them. Yeah, because when people come, so what? The reason I go and buy them is because behind me in the office there's a thing called a set. Yeah, oops, it's something to take pride in. People be able to see, like Dave takes pride in his office. Can't say about you, but also when I get other electrical engineers down here to discuss electrical engineering things, they'll quite often come in, and there's a variety of things on the shelves from testers.
How often do you have electrical engineers?
Fucking hell, how shiny is that 1630? How much did you pay for that?
No. I cleaned it up to fuck. I took it apart and completely cleaned it.
Does it work?
It was in a bad state. No, but because I got the lead. But no, they'll come in and talk about something. Oh, God, I used to do that, and then they disappear, and they just pay to make the order. So it's purely device. They either come in here for an hour and talk about their job and try and knock me down the price and talk about what's on the shelves. That was the.
When's the last time you had someone come around and sit in there with you?
Probably about 2 months ago. The Water Sparky came in here and bought his prototype we did for him. So, you can actually check the card, yeah. Then before that, Julian was in here from Chevron. He had a look around the displays. He liked it. What it is people like you, Sam, couldn't give a fuck. But luckily, people like you don't come around my office, so I couldn't give a fuck.
Yeah, but who says I don't give a fuck? Listen, I do like old things, yeah. Specifically, I really, really like old switchgear from like, I'm talking early switchgear, like Tesla era. That sort of stuff interests me. Everything else, not interested in.
What, like something like this?
Ooh. Yeah, see, that's very cool.
Oh, look at that. See, that's a,
like you could make something very cool out of that.
There's something you want wreckage. There's something for everyone, but it just makes the office nice and like it's been a boring, sterile shithole. But I do buy it, and I've got a bit of a retro thing for old fucking testers and old switchgear. So, yeah.
What are we even here to talk about this week?
I wanted to talk about Dave's on. So we want to talk about a bit of testing. Do you want me to go into that and we can talk some more shit later? Is that a yes?
Savo's fucking far too interested in the chat.
Well, you got to keep up with the Mongs. They might be saying something awful.
I'll go through this one. Yeah, we'll do this as a bit of a feature. The IET. This podcast was delayed unfortunately because Sam lost his voice because he'd been sucking too much dong, I think.
And then you decided that you needed to go on another camping holiday.
Yeah, to the solar farm.
Dogging.
It's just how it works now. So this was documented. This is an official
this is dogging.
It's an IT document released on May 2025. It escaped our attention for a bit. Minimizing unnecessary live testing for initial verification. It's basically an IT document, and it's saying now like you should limit the amount of live tests you do, not do ZSs. You should calculate them.
Yeah, but now, hasn't that been a thing for ages?
It has been a bit of a thing for ages, but this document is by the IET by Michael.
But who cares about them?
Well, this is the thing. People do care about documents they put out, but it's not. It doesn't. I think it's very one-sided that you can just do R1 plus R2, and I think that is another nail in the coffin of the trade.
I am completely out of my depth in this conversation, but I don't know why this is a thing.
Is it that dangerous to measure ZS and get an actual real reading off a meter?
No.
Here's the thing about that article. You need to link to that article in the show notes.
It will be in the show notes. I may even drop it to the chat right now.
So I think what they're saying in that article, and it is just it's not necessarily a IET, thou shalt do it like this sort of thing. It's
yes, but I know that's a good point, Dave. But all these documents come across like that because they've got the IET on the top.
it's still an opinion piece by the author, and what they're kind of saying is, you just got to be aware of the dangers of live testing and that it exposes you to risk, but also that, for example, if I, as an employer, if I were employing somebody, if I had 5 people working for me and we were doing testing, if I were to say to them, I want you to get ZSs from various circuit endpoints or whatever, if I sort of insisted on that, then I'm putting those employees at risk because I'm exposing them to live parts, but also I'm exposing them perhaps to risky situations where they have to climb up on something to get 3 probes into a light, for example, or something like that in order to get that ZS no trip number, and maybe they'll fall off the step ladder, or maybe they'll slip and get a shock or something like that. And what the article is sort of saying is, do you necessarily need to put people to that risk? And I kind of do this on a lot of my periodic inspections. I won't necessarily take a ZS if I've got an R1, R2, and if I've tested the ZE or the ZDB or whatever, I've proven that earth path. I've proven the continuity earth path, and there is a specific regulation in here somewhere, 6437.3.1, I believe, which allows you to make a calculation. And they're basically saying that article, well, if you've got that information, you can make that calculation and you're not putting anybody at risk. It's not saying don't take a ZS. It's just getting you to think about what risks you're putting yourself or potentially your employees to if you insist on them doing it.
You know what I've decided? There's 2 types of mongs now. There's a chat mong and a reg mong.
Just one last thing. The only thing I don't get about that article is it talks specifically about initial verification, not periodic inspection. I don't know why that would be.
So I do 2391. They're saying the city guilds are pushing this, and the people I work for are pushing this, going, I should do more calculation. I'm like, I'm doing an assessment. They can do both, but they're not getting away with doing one because I want to see them do it. But what I say now is, don't bother practicing all your live tests on initial verification when, to be fair, the installation is probably its safest, but you've still got to go and do all these live tests on a 30-year-old when it's most dangerous. And there's never been more probes and adapters available, and probes have never been safer. For you to do this, how much more dominant? Are we just going to go soon? Oh, it's just vision inspection only. Why? Oh, in case someone hurts themselves.
The thing is, though, our probes safer. I mean, GS38 is far too nanny state for my liking, and half the time I can't get the probes into where I want it. In fact, I was on site, was it just, I think it was just 2 weeks ago, where I had my little handheld Chauvin tester, and I was trying to get some readings. I just could not get probes in, so I got my cutters out.
And with the probes, like it says 4mm, ideally 2. So all the manufacturers make them at 2 because that's the way it's worded, yeah.
Which is a pain in the cock.
Whereas if there was actually 4mm, they'd probably fit in the vast majority of things, but because they try and get the lowest number, they fit in fuck all. So yeah, I agree with you there. And then when you remove the thing that makes them GS38, it exposes 4.5 miles of conductor. It's like, lads, just someone design a better probe. I find the Fluke one's quite good. But they go from 2mm to fucking 4 miles long, which is a bit of a pain in the arse. But
and some do retractable, but I just find that the retractable shrouds just get in the fucking way then as well. So you can't win.
I would trust you to do this, Dave, to do this maths. But I think a lot of people, it is beyond their. Unfortunately, I think it's beyond their skill set and capabilities early on in the trade. And I wonder if you start doing these numbers, that you just get all sorts of random numbers that just don't work. I saw a certificate this week passed on a job where the earth was 98 ohms and it had a satisfactory report. I was like, how is that happening? And when I explained to the person, it was like, I don't know what's wrong.
Here's one for you.
Why are you sat there laughing like a knob?
I was on an inspection last week where the earth was 2.3 ohms. I got 2.3 ohms on a TN system, so I phoned it through to National Grid. And they sent a guy around who pulled the fuse from the head after he confirmed that reading and said, oh no, it's dangerous. We can't re-enable it until we've dug up the street and fixed it. It's out in the street that the problem is. And so he left this house without power for the rest of the day. And I was thinking, well, it's got a 100 milliamp RCD up front in this consume unit. I'm going to change the consume unit tomorrow's job, actually. But it's already got 100 milliamp up front RCD in there. And most of the circuits have 30 milliamp protection. 2 ohms. That's not too bad, is it? You'd get a shitload more than that if it were a TT.
Where is this end, though?
To re-energize it.
You can't use steps. You can't do live testing. You know, next they'll stop us using sharp. Well, they stopped using sandlars, haven't they? You can't use saws. You can't use steps. You can't use live testing.
Oh, do you know, I was on a job
Where
once.
does it end?
Sam has entered the chat.
Sam's back. Sam's come back from the brink of death.
Shut up
Because we're
now.
talking. Sorry, people. Sorry, Sam, for talking about checks those electrical things.
I'll check the mongs. You carry on.
So, years ago, I was on a job, and the only way as an electrician you could get on the job is if you had a pair of those small side cutters for cable ties. Otherwise, they wouldn't let you on the job. And before you even walked on the job, you had to show them a pair of them.
I would then use them to rag every cable tie to the most dangerous knife I could, like on purpose.
I just remember it's just before Christmas or something, and I was just like, "Fuck's sake!" I've got to buy another tool just to get on site.
Craig Tom makes a good point actually in the Mong chat.
Does he?
He does. He does. He says, "I've never asked to do a measured ZS on an annual NIC inspection anymore." You know what? I don't think I've ever been asked to do a ZS on any kind of NIC inspection, or indeed an IR either. I think that they're just too worried that
you're a bit of a testing guru, Dave. You know, if I was to re-jiggle a sub main feeding a board.
Oh, is this an octopus question?
Well, yeah, it's a bit. If I was to cut the live neutral earth conductors and make them off into a mechanical connection that feed, say, I don't know, a fuse board in a house, what minimum test should I do at that board that I've affected the sub main to, do you reckon?
Well, you should at least be doing a ZS DB to confirm polarity and earthing as still as they ought to be. But
I'd agree with you. So I come Octopus get away with not doing it when they're an NIC member.
I know. Well, this is the thing, isn't it? This is why I'm leaving NIC, because I'm sick of this double standard shit where the likes of us are supposed to do everything by the book, and then these assholes come in and at the most they might. It's like when you have your meter changed, they'll just go in with a basic socket tester. This house I was at, I was moaning about where the earthing was out. They'd had the meter changed, and someone had come along with a socket tester, plugged it in. They probably fucked it up, and they were like, "Oh shit!" But they still signed it off and left.
At least, because I know for a fact Octopus aren't doing anything. At least plug into a socket or get a ZE. Like, don't turn the fuse off. But I'm very keen for us out there. If anyone's got a set of Octopus test results after they fit an EV, I'd love to see them, because if I had the NIC inspector around, which I wouldn't, and I'd cut into a cable and fitted a socket to it to turn, say, I don't know, a radial with a socket and then into two, they'd be like, "You've got to test that, you've cut the cable." But my argument is, we know Octopus are going around and other EV installers cutting the tails, taking them out, putting them in handy blocks, and energizing the boards again, the existing board of a new board, but no test results on the existing installation.
PV installers as well, heat pump installers,
PV, yeah,
these
right.
cowboys.
You've got to ensure that the installations, what's already there, is as good as before you left. So you should be doing a ZE before you take it apart and a ZE after. But I don't see it happening. And like I say, 2-tier standards from the schemes. And if you ask them that very, very basic question, you just get ignored. Don't have to tell you. Like,
come on, Sam, contribute something.
I'm just thinking
about cake.
I haven't got anything to contribute. I don't really know what you lot are talking about.
Shall we dumb it down a bit?
Joking.
Let's talk about cock.
No. See, I was thinking this, right? When you like changing fuse boards, you have to, like, there is a certain thing you have, like a certain set of procedures you have to do before you even change a fuse board. Like, have the property tested first. Like, yeah. I always I don't necessarily do it myself because I haven't got a tester, and someone around here does it very cheaply for me. So he just goes in, gives it a quick test, nothing major, just double checks everything's okay, and then I'll go in and then he tests it afterwards. It cost me like almost nothing. He's older, he's retired, and he just does it, and I'll pass him a few quid, and he's happy with that. So he's still got his NIC, still got his, I think it's nappy. Probably grass them up now.
If that's how you do it, if you sub it out, great. But what I'm saying is, are they issuing minor works? No, because cutting the tails is provision of a new circuit. So it should be issuing a full EICR.
Well, they're putting in a whole new board, aren't they? That external board comes under Part P. It should have an EIC of its own.
Yes. And it should then, if you're doing an EIC because you split the tails, you should then test both the things that he's feeding. But it's not happening.
That EIC should list the original board that's there and give a ZS at DB. And even if it doesn't give any detail about the circuits, it should at least give them information.
You don't have to do that. I'm not saying do that. But what I'm saying is the problem is the people that watch this podcast that actually give a fuck, I imagine, or just watching chances, yeah. And the sparks that actually care and they're going to get bit on the bumhole, they probably are doing that and adding 15 minutes to their job.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you. I think I never used to think this, right? But I definitely do think now, if you're doing domestic stuff,
it's a waste of time.
It's a waste of time. Like if you're doing anything domestic, right? The amount you have to know for the amount of bollocks you have to fucking put up with, times by the amount of fucking fuckery that it is running your own business, it's not worth it.
I could literally go and rent a digger, yeah, on a site, dig a 500-meter long trench, put 3 or 4 240mm armors in it, yeah, gland and terminate at one end, gland and terminate at the other, test inspect it, and no one wants to see any of my paperwork. But if I had a bathroom fan, I'm expected to be a member of a scheme. Yeah. What the fuck? Like, and I'm afraid,
and I would argue
the bread and butter sports are getting robbed.
But I would argue that putting in those trenches and putting the cables in those trenches is more safety critical than changing the bathroom fan.
You reckon?
Depends on the user. But Dave, you just said you're about leaving. What are you going to do then if you leave the schemes? It's going to be a renegade, or are you going to say Part P is the homeowner's responsibility, like I've been saying for the past 5 years?
It's going to be. The thing is, the more onerous, I can't even remember how you pronounce that word. They make it for people. The less inclined you are to do it. And I find that even for things like minor works, I'm not issuing as many as I did because I've got customers who are just happy to get me in, get me to do the job. And I find myself not bothering with all the paperwork. I'll still do the tests to make sure that, I've got the numbers, but I'm not really going through the paperwork because the problem with things like the minor works is that when I came into this over a decade ago, it was such a simple certificate to fill out. And these days it's a lot more complicated. It wants a lot more information. And sometimes, you go and change a light, for example, for somebody. They want a new light fitting put up. And it wants to know things like the RCD times. So I'm not interrupting all their fucking power and knocking their sockets off just to get a reading out of that necessarily.
This is the problem. It's like piracy, isn't it? When I don't, if anyone remembers this, show me age now. When LimeWire and Napster came out, it was easier to pirate a CD than it was to buy it properly. So they brought streaming out, which made it easier to not pirate. Now that's been pirated itself, but the more rules and regulations they put on proper sparks trying to do the job right, the less they earn and the more likely they are to go rogue or just not do any testing or be replaced by people that just make down the pub, which is always going to be a problem. Don't get me wrong, but I think stuff like this, minimising unnecessary testing, just brings more people into the trade that just get away with less.
It's only the people who are members of these schemes who are policed. Those who aren't policed seem to face no consequences.
Well, how many prosecutions have the NIC and NAPIT made against people not in Part P schemes or even in their schemes? It's literally less than a handful in the entire time scheme's been in. Your chances of getting caught out by one of the scheme providers for doing non-certified electrical work, you have got more chance of winning the lottery while simultaneously getting hit in the face by an asteroid. Genuinely.
But here's the other thing, right? When I was doing, when you're putting in, bathroom fans, say you're putting in a completely new bathroom fan.
Yeah.
You then have to drill the hole through the wall, bore out the hole through the wall, whatever. Say you can't bore out through the wall. You then have to go up through the ceiling. Then you have to do the ducting. The ducting has to be insulated properly. It has to be measured and tested properly. Yeah. What the fuck? When did I become a ductor?
You need to be in 2 separate schemes that cost over 1,500 quid a year, $3,000 in total, just to do that job once.
Exactly. And you might only do one of them a year.
I know a Sparky, a guy, it's Rob Dennis Electrical, Finance Electric in Nottingham, He's up for the scheme for that, and he does hundreds of them, because he does them in HMOs and stuff and counterparts, So he's in that scheme. But every other single Sparky that's doing 1 or 2 a year, they're just banging him in. You know what I mean?
Because why wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not fucking getting my fan sign off. Suck my balls. I'm not doing that.
The danger of these things that come out from from the IET, there is a danger to them. Because what happens is, and I see it all the time on big sites, and with big companies, they go, oh, well, the IET just put this out. The one person who knows about it, goes, oh, they just put this out. And then they put that and they go, well, that's the new guidance now. And that's what everyone will go by. You don't need to test that now. That is what everyone will say.
Everything's by calculation, because when you do live testing, you've got to put your probes on and press a button. Yeah. There's a case here for go, oh, don't even bother filling the box in. Just fill in the ZE and fill in the R1, R2, and we'll calculate when he gets back to the office. Because that will save seconds on site. That means that the company will make more money.
No,
Every
but
time
it's
they
not.
bring out
No,
something like
I don't
this,
think it's about that. I don't
no,
think it's
but
about
it will
that.
be. If you can shave money off, they will. We've seen
I don't think
with
it's
the
about that.
EV
I
game.
think it's about. I think generally people like to do things the easiest way possible. Generally,
Yeah.
right. And once you've been told you don't have to do something, to get someone to then do it is almost impossible because they don't have to anymore. So articles like that can be taken out, that come out on IAT headed paper, can then be taken out of fucking context. And now everyone's not going to do that test under any circumstances. The run-of-the-mill basic British spark like myself aren't going to ever do it because we technically don't have to because IAT said. And that's just going to be the excuse. That's then going to have to be challenged by someone in the industry. And guess what? No cunt's going to challenge it because no one actually cares that much. Because really, all the regulations in our industry are bollocks.
It's not even that dangerous to get that test.
Wait.
I mean, would you go in a lift where they go, don't worry, the cables will take your weight? Dave, because you're the only person left. Don't worry, we'll have to take your weight, we've done the maths. Like, that maths comes from testing. They didn't just make those maths up, they got it from data. No, there is no data.
I don't think it's bollocks. I think that the problem is that
I didn't say it was bollocks.
no,
Both options need to exist. But what I'm saying is when you blank, you put out a document saying don't bother, it's a bit dodgy ground, I think. There's possibilities that it will get. People will go, oh, don't bother doing the test, we'll just do it for you on the maths in the office. Good read, was it, Sam?
Also, fucking seagull, better shut up, bruv. Right, but also,
threatening seagulls, old man yells at seagull.
like now I'm back on bigger sites just because things haven't worked out how I expected them to. And I'm back on bigger sites and stuff. All I see, right? So I've gone into this site that they haven't said I'm going to be doing fire alarms and stuff. Just happens to be that I've been in the industry long enough to have done fire alarms. Not particularly, I wouldn't say I was competent at them, but I know my way around them. Fair?
Yeah.
I'm now turn up to site and I'm installing fire alarms. And then something else happens and I'll go to another site and I'll be installing BMS. Bit of luck, I know that. But then the range of things that we get to site and they go, yeah, I'm going to have you doing wiring up the aircon controls. And you're like, oh, bit of luck, I know how to do that then. Oh, well, you're an electrician, ain't you? You should know. Well, and here's the thing that I wish someone would tell me. What should electricians know? Should we have a functioning knowledge of every single aspect that comes under the electrical industry? Or should the electrical industry specify what comes under the electrical industry? Because quite frankly, when someone goes to me, can you fix my laptop? Oh, it's got electricity in it. How do you answer that?
It depends what sheep has done it. I've been broken. I haven't talked about this in this podcast. I talked about my own blog. I've been broken. I've made a decision this week. I am sacking it off.
Sacking off what?
The tools. I'm going to go teaching full time. Fuck it.
Really?
Yeah. Why? That tier 1 job was on last week, which I did an Instagram on, which will be on my blog.
Horrendous.
On YouTube this week.
Horrendous.
If you haven't seen this yet, if you don't watch my blog, I'm on YouTube. I've put a blog out this week. It's just called Tier 1 Broke Me. It's just a bit about that site, yeah? The work was shit. The standards was shit. The management was shit. And I was like, you know what? I'm fucking 43. Yeah?
Yeah.
Fuck this. Just fuck it. And I've just gone, you know what? I'm keeping my tools. I'm moving to a bigger office. Well, I'm now throw me out of this one. It's a different story. I'm looking for a bigger office. I'm going to do my own training and training for other people because they are going to need to train so many people to do these jobs that I may as well make the money out of that. And even though I love being on my tools, I've decided that I want my working on my tools and making things for my leisure time. So I want to go in the garage and make something. It's like I've been trying to make a Raspberry Pi jukebox for years. I'd rather spend my making time on stuff like that and do that. So I've literally decided this week, that's it. I'm fucking done. It's not going to happen straight away, but I'm going to wind down and just do training, maybe a bit of design, maybe a bit of consulting, maybe a bit of power monitoring, all that stuff. But actual on the tools work, apart from 2 people, which one's my old apprentice and another guy, that's it. No more. Done.
It's rough, isn't it? Like when you go on these tier 1 sites, you're just met with like utter contempt.
They fucking. I don't get broken very easily, yeah. But I don't. But I work with some good people, and I will continue to do like call outs with them. But you know, because obviously some jobs you end up working people, and you have to go to tier 1 site. Yeah, I ain't never stepped in front of tier 1 site again. They can suck my balls. They broke me. I was like, I cannot stand to be a part of this shit. People go on that job and go, oh, like Jamie Blake was on there. I saw a video of him. They're like things like Works Mine. It was fucking dog shit. Absolute dog shit. I was like, well, it was so bad. So bad. I was like, well, these people clearly need training. And I've heard people saying how about training. So I'm like, I'm done. So yeah, over the next 6 months, you'll see me winding down work-wise, I think. You've noticed because I'll be getting fatter.
Savo,
it's done there.
What is your opinion on having to have a working knowledge across so many different aspects of the trade? Do you think that is right?
No, of course it's not. It's too big a trade to encompass everything. And this is why I myself have stepped back over the years from certain things. When I started this business, I was into, yes, I'll do your CCTV, I'll do your alarms, I'll do whatever, EV, PV. They've all come and gone over the years. And on the website over the years, there's been news articles saying, we're not doing that anymore. And it's been dropped from the portfolio because
do you not think though, like wiring is a skill? Like most of the things you're studying, something like you said, CCTV. If you could go, if someone said to come to my house and just put the wiring in, would you do that for the CCTV, or would you say no?
The trouble is with something like that is the technology has moved on a lot. Things like CCTV and intruder alarms were very stable for a very long time, and now everything's gone smart tech, and it's not what it once was, and you've got to have your head in an IT game in order to sort of keep up with that sort of stuff, because people want to be able to view it from their phone or whatever.
Where you say wiring is a skill, you are right, because I know what you mean by that.
Because that
finding routes.
Take heating controls, for example. I don't get involved with things like heating and aircon controls. I'll get the supply to them, but some other asshole can wire them up. Same with things like swimming pool pumps. What do I know about pumps and filters? Somebody else can sort it out. I'll get the supply to it. So no, there are lots of areas where obviously just because you can wire stuff up doesn't make you an expert suddenly in that kind of area, because there's all sorts of specific calculations and characteristics.
But I do think this is a problem across our industry. Is like we are we are almost jack of all trades whenever it comes to anything with a cable.
Yeah, and that's what we are. But what I was going to say then is, sorry, I caught up because my connection from down. Yeah, if you're not doing fire alarms, you're not doing BMS. Yeah, someone's saying to you, put this cable from this point to this point on this containment. Right, that's the skill of electrician. Now, if the design is good, you will do that. But if the design is bad, you have not got the skills or knowledge to say, oh, that design's wrong. So if you want to be into it, that's what you'll be able to do. If the design's bang on, you just put code from A to B. That's a Sparky's job, yeah? But if it's then wrong, you wouldn't know if a fire alarm was positioned wrong, would you? Because you don't.
Yeah, but then it comes down to the
something. But you might know something. Oh, that's not right. That doesn't seem right. Like, oh, we'll look into that. It could save the company thousands, but you can't be a fire alarm designer and installer and a Spark as well.
This is what fucked me off. This is what fucked me off with NIC last year when I had my assessment, because they basically said I'm not doing enough to maintain my approved contractor status anymore because I'm not into EV, PV, battery, heat pumps, etc. Because they're not strings that I either had them added to my bow and took them off, or I never had them in the first place.
You're not making enough money. That's what it is.
I don't really care. I'll just stay in my lane of what I am doing.
So you can't be a normal electrician to keep your approved status anymore, no?
Not for approved contract. No, they can probably bust me down to DI, but they can go fuck themselves.
Is that still a thing?
Pay them 700 quid every fucking year.
I mean, DI? It's like domestic installer.
But they can't just do that because you do commercial properties, don't you?
No, well, I don't anyway. And that's part of the problem as well. It's like, oh, you're not doing commercial. Oh, well, you're not doing enough to maintain your AC. And I'm like, well,
fuck off then.
I'm doing a job that I've always been doing, and my customers are very happy, and you're getting no complaints, and you're getting paid every fucking year. So what the fuck do you care? You cunt?
Have you ever had to pull rank and be like, I'll just fucking go to town on you on my podcast or on my channel, prick?
What, like he does with Ager all the time?
No, I don't think they'd appreciate
I had to
it.
do it the other day. First time ever.
Did you know who I am? That's not the first time you've said that.
No,
Do you
no,
know
I
who I
swear
am?
down. I swear down. I had to fucking put it on an agency the other day. So I went to that tier 1 job, right? I went to that tier 1 job, which was
I'm gonna get a beer for this.
it was a power plant where they take the rubbish, they get it down the Thames, and they put it into the thing. It burns it and makes power. Excuse me. Anyway, I was only there for the morning. I done the what's the thing that called that you have to do the training in the morning? Initiation, whatever. Fucking can't
Induction.
remember. Induction. Done the induction, and then went out onto site and just looked around and thought, I can't do this. And you weren't allowed your phone, and I have got a bit of a phone addiction lately. So I was just like, you wasn't even allowed to have your phone on you. I'm like, fuck off. I'm not a 4-year-old. If I want to be on my phone, I'll be on my phone. Anyway, I just got the ump in the end, and I was like, well, I'm going home. Went home about 1 o'clock. Got there at 7:30. Went home at, I don't know, let's say 1:30 for whatever's sake. Anyway, on the way home, phoned the agency, said, this ain't for me. Very sorry. I've left site. Here's some feedback about the site that you might want to tell people before they get there so they have an understanding. All's well. Thank you very much. I look forward to getting paid for my morning. Now, many of you might be like, you ain't done no work, so why should you get paid?
You've got inducted.
But here's the thing. When you work for an agency, you don't get paid for your work. You get paid for your time. What you do with that time dictates whether you keep the job or not whether you get paid or not. So anyway, 2 weeks go by and I haven't got paid. It's about 100 quid, whatever. So I phone up the geezer and he goes, well, you left before the drugs and alcohol test, so you ain't get paid. And I was like,
so do I. Oh, yeah.
Well, I was like, well, I was carrying around a pot of my child's piss, so I should be fine. Anyway. Anyway, so I was like, right, yeah, well, that's not a thing, so whatever. I need to be paid, please. And he's like, well, I don't think they're going to pay you. I was like, well, they're not paying me. You are. Anyway, he started getting the ump with me. So I phoned back and I spoke to to his director. Because you got to remember, when I was doing the union stuff, I had this down to a pattern. I could pattern any of these fucking agencies in London and get people paid quick. So I unleashed, but I didn't have the union behind me this time. So I phoned him up and I went, this is cringe, but I did it. I did it. So I had this conversation with him and he goes, well, they ain't going to pay you, mate. And I was like, Google me. Google me. Are you near a computer now? Google me.
Did you find that news article where it said you were
I'm going to Google you now. I'm going to Google you right now just so I can live this. So you keep going to do this.
I don't know what it comes up as. What's it come up as? Let's Google Sam. Everyone, Google Sam right now. Oh, should I Bing Sam? Should I Bing Sam? I'm going to Bing
Massive
Sam.
fat
It comes up. It just comes up that you've got a few bits. There's like you on YouTube and stuff. There's pictures of you. So yeah, if you at a quick look, people might think you was a big player like me, but you're not.
Oh look,
but yeah, there's
LinkedIn,
enough.
Vice President of Electrical Workers Union, self-employed. Well, that's not that good.
It's enough to give him the wobble, though, isn't it? It's enough to wobble.
I'm a little bit disappointed. I'm not going to lie.
Did you get your 100 quid?
Yeah. So anyway, he goes.
Did he ask for your autograph as well?
No, he goes to me. He goes, oh, yeah. So yeah, I work with unions all the time, mate. I was like, all right, sweet. I was like, but I also got the #1 podcast for electricians in the whole country, and he goes,
when you Google me, I've got like a whole page. Jesus Christ, that's the first
time I've
never Googled myself before.
Yeah, right.
Because I'm humble. Anyway,
that's not me.
Anyway, got right into it with these fucking
first photo of my Google search. Jesus Christ.
Anyway, got into it with these mongs and ended up getting paid. But now I can never use that agency again, which is a shame. But you're not going to not pay me £100. I need £100. I've got no money. Look at my hair. I haven't had a haircut for nearly a month because I can't afford it. You're paying me my £100, bitch.
What are you trying to do? Start a GoFundMe for your haircut?
Yes.
Libby at Exori
just-
Electrical, good old
For just
Libby.
£7 a month, you could buy Sam a haircut.
Libby
For
says, don't you need
£14?
AC for EICR on the NIC? Yes, you do, Libby, technically.
I'm not giving any of them any of my money ever again because
The thing is, if you're not with NIC or NAPIT, who's going to know you're doing EICRs? And if you're doing them for things like letting agencies, you don't have to be a member of a CPS. You just have to be able to prove competence and have the right.
You've always just proved competence. All you got to do is prove competence. The problem is, like, if you're outside the system can't find you.
Exactly.
There's no bring in and register for electricians, and that'd get sorted out, wouldn't it? Why you make me pay to be in your club? You can fuck off. I ain't paid any of them since way before 2010, and I've made a decent career. I've made loads of money. Look at all these lovely things that behind me. Not the only money any of them has allowed me is NAPIT or someone who's training every now and again, which is decent. I don't knock the training bit, but as for the actual schemes, you can fuck off. And if everyone did that, what would they do? They'd push. You know what you do, right? I don't really to dig on them, yeah. You know, if the schemes, all of them, now if we all said no, we're not paying. Do you know what they'd do? You know, the first thing you think they do is try and talk to us and go, well, no, let's make it better for you. They wouldn't. You know what they'd do? They'd legislate the government to get us all battered.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They wouldn't like try and talk with us or deal with us. The first thing they do is try and make our lives hard. So like, fuck
this is interesting.
Oh, here we go.
2026, you need 2391 for EICRs and no more grandfather rights. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
According to who? NIC and NAPIT. Well, if you're not a member, then they can't police you, can they?
Yeah, but I knew this was and I'll tell you what's coming next. And I know this is what's coming next. This is happening with NIC and NAPIT and people like that. I can guarantee you, and like with Gold Card Sparks, who got their grandfather rights to get their gold card, I guarantee within the next year, maybe two, they will not be able to renew their gold card.
To work in the UK as an electrician on sites, we all know you need a JRB gold card, yeah? Right.
But I guarantee that's going to get hooked off people now.
I'm not disputing that you need a JRB gold card to work on sites, yeah? If you just want to call yourself an electrician and operate like Dave does, doing bits and bobs around your local area, what qualification do you need?
None.
Not fucking one. It's not a protected thing. I can call myself a plumber. No one's going to stop me. They've got the same problem, yeah?
Not a gas engineer.
No, that's protected, isn't it? Because they've got... Well, you can call yourself a gas engineer, but you can't say you're corgi. You can say I'm a gas engineer. I know how to work with gas. I can fix your gas stove.
It's illegal to touch it.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that you can still call yourself a gas engineer. Like, there's very little parts inside a boiler. You can call yourself a boiler repair man.
Corgi's gone for fucking years, you asshole. It's been gas safe forever.
Yes, but there's all right, fair on. There's very little parts in the boiler that are part of the combustion system. A lot of it's just other bits and bobs like the pump and that. You can fix that. But to call yourself an electrician, so all you're going to do is when you force these people out, they're going to drop into the underworld of being the local electrician. And obviously it just it sedates the general electrical world. To the fact that probably
about the gas. I did a video, I think it's 2019, where a gas boiler was tripping off an RCD, and Nigel and I pulled the cover off just to check the flex going in, make sure there wasn't anything obvious that we could fix, and there wasn't. So we put the cover back on, and some asshole grasped me up to fucking gas safe.
As far as I'm aware, the last time I checked, I've checked this before, yeah.
You're not allowed to do that, are you?
You can open a boiler, but you can't open the boiler with the intention to work on parts of the gas combustion system.
Well, the very bored guy who phoned me up who said, look, I've seen your video. I know that you obviously know what you were doing and everything, but just don't go pulling the covers off any gas appliances unless it specifically says on there that the cover is removable by non-gas personnel or whatever.
Yeah, that's more. Every boiler is designed so the electricians get to electrical bits. You can only get done if you remove the cover with the intention to work on gas parts. I'll give you a clue. I've fixed my own boiler a few times, but I've never fixed the gas combustion. I've changed the heat exchanger, changed the pump, changed the PCB. In fact, I've changed all the bits that aren't the gas. But if I'm honest, I put the gas in myself and tested it. So but I know what I'm doing.
Do you see this face? Competent. That I pull sometimes when you speak.
But I do believe that NIC and NAPIT, they probably all start shitting their pants at people leaving because there's too many. And what they would probably do is trying to bring in some kind of protectionist, right? Where you have to be a member of theirs.
That's what they want. You know, it's getting a little bit bad out there financially. There's a lot of people. I've heard on the domestic, a lot of people not having work done, right? Because they've saved money for other stuff. The general treasury just slow down a bit. Who knows what happens going into winter? Yeah. If those sparks are going, well, I could not pay me insurance or could not pay the NIC, I'll leave the NIC and I'll try and get other work. I'll just do arse. I'll just do art now. Things that aren't Part P registered, or I'll just do shops. Are people going to leave? They don't publish the figures, do they? We can't tell. We don't know what's happening. They don't publish the figures of their members. So are people just going to go, I know what, I'm just going to suck the NIC off or whatever? As long as you're not saying it in the NIC or the NAPIT, it doesn't matter.
I do think that, right, so this is not a controversial take, but it's a take that won't be popular. So with the, like, how Mark described it to me is is it the EAS or some shit like that? They have mandated what the qualifications are for an electrician.
They have indeed. The EAS.
So that kind of unifies the industry as to what the qualifications are for an electrician, which is what it's always been, which is the same criteria as what it is to get a gold card. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that that's right, but it's great to unify the industry, because that is the first step in determining what an electrician is, getting that protected title. If everyone can call themselves,
protect it then? Why are the ECS not trying to protect the title?
I think it's the first step in a longer process. I don't think you could just come out tomorrow.
A fucking Cornish pasty's got more naming rights than I have as a tradesman. Ridiculous. You can't call a Cornish pasty. Cornish pasty has been made in Cornwall, but anyone calls off electrician. What the fuck? Like, I don't get it.
But I do think it's a good thing that's happening. I think it's a tough thing, and it's going to upset a lot of people.
That sort of stuff, someone like me is expected to now go through the experienced worker route and spend thousands proving myself. And all I'm doing these days is changing sockets and switches for little old ladies. It's like, fuck.
I don't think that's going to apply to you.
Well, they're trying to make it so. Yeah, if I leave NIC now, I'm never getting back in.
No, never.
No, not unless I really jump through a load of hoops and spend a shitload of money.
But I think you also have to do you have to do the AM2 as well?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
They are not going to throw you out. They want you in. If they apply that rule like they're saying they're going to, bearing in mind the ECS is made up of all them schemes anyway. It's not like the ECS some
EAS. Stop saying ECS.
Not like the EAS some random organisation. It's got the people that sit on it are NAPIT, ECA, NIC, and all the usual favourite Joe and everything else. If they start laying down the law on that, throw people out, they're going to lose 20% of the sparks in their books. So
like I said before, I don't believe there's a skill shortage in our industry. I believe there is a surplus of skill in our industry, and that is why no one is really able to just start up a business and start killing it straight away. It's not possible.
No one can set up a business, mate. Like I said this before. I've been quite obsessed with what I do. I've had a good run out of it. Yeah. Could I do it today? If I went to time machine and became 20 again, could I do it again? I don't know if I could, because the game's changed.
I think you could, but would you? Would you want to, knowing what you know now?
When I started, I got to talk to people. I got work because I was good at my job. Yeah. Now you've got to be on Instagram 24 hours a day doing your social media, because that's the way you get work nowadays. Like, I don't know. I do
Jesus, the state of some of the stuff on Instagram. Fucking hell.
Oh, mate.
There are some people on Instagram who don't know how shit they are.
Oh, wait, listen. Right. Let me just say something. Let me preface this comment. See Gary at GSH Electrical. His videos. I was watching one just yesterday about doing bends on
your job.
Just doing bends on containment. And he does everything I do in it. Like using a bit of wood, using a center punch, all that sort of shit, yeah. And a 3 mil and a 6 mil drill bit and stuff, because I like to drill the pilot holes first. I always like to do a pilot hole and then a bigger hole. I hate going straight through with one big hole. All these things, yeah. Everything Gary does, he does so fucking well in his videos. It's so precise. Sometimes
fucking nauseating, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. But then sometimes you could say it's over the top. But there's a correct way to do it. If you're going to show someone how to do it, that's how you would do it and work
when
back
you've
from.
got those videos though, like you guys,
Hold on.
There's no reason for people to be shit.
But the other day, Efix done a fucking video, right? And I like some of the guys at Efix. I don't really know some of the newer hosts and stuff. I don't really know who they are. I don't really watch it enough. And he done this bit of tray where he flared it out. And I was like, what the fuck is that, bruv? If you was on a job and you'd done that bit of tray, and like I was a supervisor, I'd be like, do you know how to do tray? Would you like me to show you? Because I've never, like, no one's ever flared out the join like he has. And it's like, that's just clearly someone who's never done it. That's clearly someone who thinks that's a good idea.
It's like everything you get a fashion, like it's fashionable to bend the ends of your tray out, and it's fashion. You get these little fads that people do that think a lot of people on Instagram think they reinvent the wheel. Like, I bent my tray with a tray bender. Have you ever seen one? Yeah, they fucking went to college 20 years ago, mate. But obviously, you get these little hacks, don't you, that people do? Like, they're reinventing the wheel.
Yeah, but I don't mind them because they're helpful, man. Like, sometimes...
Yeah, I'm not saying not helpful, but there's not much more to rediscovering a bit of tray. You know what I mean? There's nothing new out there, nothing not doing already.
No, I think Mikey come out with that one where you sort of, like, use a pair of flat jaws and then you twist it, concertina at the edge. Mikey come out of that one from Residual Current.
Yeah, right, he did recently, but that's been a thing since the adult. Concertina and tray, that's how tray bender worked 25 years ago, 30 years ago.
See, I never knew about a tray bender, and I never knew about the concertina.
It's been out of fashion for so long. But what I'm saying is that is new to people now. But that technique's been around for years. You used to make at college. Fucking hell, some people will know this now. Yeah, you used to get 2 bits of flat bar and you used to cut a groove into the end. And they were your tray bending tools. One of the first you made it to measure them all up, and you put them on the tray, bend them, and it concertina in one way, bend it the other. There'll be people out there now going, "No, I fucking made them." Same as a tap gauge, but it's not been fashionable for a long time to do that.
Yeah, we didn't do that.
Yeah,
but what I'm saying is, I like these like tips and tricks things that they do and little hacks that they do. I do like them because it reminds you of what you can do.
That's Kieran though, isn't it? Trying to come up with these hacks and things is Kieran. It's like, I've got an idea.
Although yeah,
some of them you see like,
but I do like getting back to my point. I do think that there is there's too many sparks out, like too many people calling themselves sparks, and the unification of the qualifications across the industry from commercial right the way through to domestic, I think is essential to clearing up the industry.
Number, it's the quality, because you can have a number of people that can do shit. That tier 1 job I was on, to get on that job, everyone on that job will have a gold card. So why was I seeing such shit work?
I think the problem is, sorry, we've all been moaning for years about shit electricians, shit sparkies, shit competition, etc., and the fact that anybody can call themselves a spark. So yeah, it probably is good in a way that they are trying to unify things. But the trouble is, the training's gash at the very beginning. The people coming in at that end are often garbage. Often have no idea about why they want to become a spark, and the fact that mum and dad have kicked them out of the house after their summer holiday at the end of their school years and said, go out and learn yourself a trade, and they're just sitting there wide-eyed and thick as shit.
There are good people in college though that are getting let down. I was with an apprentice the other week, not knowing who it was yet. He went to a college that's reasonably local to me, right? And he's like, he's a really good lad, yeah. Come across really well, dead keen. Honestly, a good grafter. I had a lot of time for him, like do out 12 man. And he's like, he moved to Nottingham to do his college stuff. But anyway, the crack he said was, I got through most of college on YouTube. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, I had to learn loads off YouTube. So he said, I'd get the book out and I'd learn it off YouTube. Like, did the teacher goes, no, look at this. He showed me a video on his phone, yeah? 3 other lads in the course sat there on the phones. Lecturer sat there on his phone. He says, that happened for 2 hours. Lecturer, he said, I'll just do some stuff in your workbooks. Just left him. And the lecturer was basically like fresh out of college himself, never been on site. And that's a common thing. Because I do the training bit, I hear that a lot. I can't substantiate it all the time, though, but this was straight out of a guy's mouth. But I have a lot of people say, I went to this college, went to that college, it was shit, this guy was shit, this person was shit. The general consensus is, from what I've heard, there's a lot of shit trainers. But it's a lot of effort to become a trainer. I don't know why. I think it's because people are lazy, don't want to do the work. But
is this unifying the standard criteria to be an electrician? Because I always used to say, right, gold card don't mean anything in terms of the skills of an electrician. But what it does, it's the universal ticket to get you on any site in the UK as an electrician. That's what it is. Tier 1 sites, you can't go on without a gold skills card and work as an electrician.
So why is the work on that job I went on so bad? Because they've all got a gold card, but the work was shit.
Yes, you're right, but they can't go to another job that, like, if they don't have a gold card, they can't go to other jobs and be electricians. This is what I'm saying. It's a universal criteria for what an electrician is the set of qualifications that give you a gold card. No one gives a fuck about the gold card, but the set of criteria that allow you to get a gold card has always been the universal criteria to get on to a building site anywhere in the country as an electrician. For all David's brilliance, he could not go to a tier 1 site with Kia or BAM or any of them, and with his card, with his CSCS card or his ECS card, sit down at the table and go, I'm an electrician. They go, yeah, great. He couldn't.
They go, he'd just say, Google me.
Google me. But he couldn't go there because they would go, where's your skills card? And he'd be like, oh, my experience worker card run out. So I've got ACS labourer's card. And they go, all right, sweet. You don't need your tools. What you need to do is make sure you've got your PPE on and go get that broom and fucking sweep up after the electricians because you ain't touching a tool, bitch.
And then sometimes I feel like I could just do that.
Yeah, do you know what the get is though? Use some of the get is now. They're asking for containment installers because you know if you make up a job called containment installer and you get people to install containment, guess what qualifications they need? None. So now I'm seeing regular adverts on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn for containment installers because Dave can't come on my site as an electrician because he hasn't got a gold card. But if I create a job called cable puller, containment installer,
no, you can't do that.
You can't
do that.
They're doing it.
Not on tier 1 sites, you can't. On tier 1 sites, you can't go on site as unqualified and touch a tool. Can't do it.
Well, yeah, there is actually making cables to that VQ, but they're getting on. They're getting on there.
Can I turn up and touch your tool?
Yes, anytime you want.
You like.
But what I'm saying is that is why I think this is a positive thing they're doing. It's going to piss off loads of people who ain't gone out there and put the time in to get the correct qualifications, like Savo, and think they're electricians even though they're not because they ain't got a gold card. And this is why we are where we are. And I think it's a good thing. I think it's going to unify the industry going forward in the next 5 years. And that is.
What if I identify as a plumber and no one can tell me otherwise?
Ollie, you can't. Listen, Ollie, some tier 1 sites will allow it, but any tier 1 site that is government, that is run by government money or by a site manager who is on it will not let you go on that site without having a ECS skills card or a CSCS skills card. That is a fact of life. I've been on them. I've been in this game for a long time.
When you're in there with a site electrical manager and he says to you, oh, you can't come on site, you go, oh, no problems, mate. Oh, just quickly, can I quickly have a look at your electricity work regulations? When he goes, I ain't got a copy, go, you bitch. You ain't got one, have you? Because they won't have one. And they probably never even read it.
Change of subject. Exciting thing that I noticed today.
Dildos.
You know, voltage optimizers. We've always said that they're snake oil.
Do you mean this one? Credit to.
Is this a fuse ball company?
Is this credit to me? Because I've already posted it.
Credit to. Sorry, Mark. Alison sent me this. I'll try and show us the camera. This is a VoltSmart 12-way 100 amp energy efficient board sold by CEF.
I always said if voltage optimizers were any good, then they'd be in every fucking consumer unit. Like I said, Hager would be churning them out, and
we should get Will on to talk about this.
Sam, is this the guy that won't come on and talk to me about this? So he won't come on and discuss this with me because, not allegedly, he's a snake oil selling conman, and so are everyone at VoltSmart. Everyone at VoltSmart is a lying bumhole who sells shit like this that doesn't work.
Cease and desist on its way.
Oh, Christ.
VoltSmart are cocksuckers and everything they do is cocksucking, yeah? This is a voltage optimizer. There is nothing in it that saves you energy. This transformer gets hot and actually wastes energy. Got a video on YouTube for it. VoltSmart. Come and tell me I'm wrong. Yeah? Anytime you like. Any day. Anytime. You lying cocksuckers. Calling your board energy efficient is like me calling, I don't fucking know, but it's bollocks, yeah? Do not buy that shit. It is fucking wank. Cease and desist me. I've got the backup of physics. You cocksuckers. You liars.
That wasn't where I was going with it.
That's where I went. Sorry.
It's just interesting to me that when I went on to see.
And if anyone's wondering, yes, I do always carry a voltamizer around with me so I can display it and say what a bag of shit it is.
They must have gone to bed with Proteus though, because there's there with a board with Proteus RCBOs and everything in it, and
no, they'll just be buying it. I don't think they will be. I think Proteus will be more clever than that. They'll just be buying it off them.
I can't imagine Proteus will be buying that off of them.
No, they won't. They'll be buying it for it. The big
Wait, hold on.
Optimization company.
Wait, hold on. Is that in a Proteus board? This fucking VoltSmart shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a Proteus board with voltage optimization built in. It seems, and it's being punted on.
It's made by VoltSmart. Maybe they are. Maybe see. No, I'm just trying to think out the box here because I don't.
I'll tell you what. I've got something. Hold on.
I think I think they've bought the enclosure off Proteus because I know Proteus can make enclosures bespoke like that. They've probably gone, if we make you to make that box and we get you to make it, will you sell it as part of a deal? They're probably going, yeah.
So I'm actually doing something with.
I can review it. I would review it. I'll review it.
I'm actually doing something with Proteus at the moment, right?
Is it a super energy efficient board? I can't review it.
If that is the case, I'm gonna have to have a conversation.
VoltSmart, anytime you want. Come on, tell me how it works, yeah? Because
maybe, yeah.
Just quickly, if you reduce the voltage,
I'm going to phone up Proteus and go, Google me.
CF. I put a video on it. I did a video a while ago. And someone kindly sent me that one down there. And I put a video on it. People going, no. I'm like, if you put less volts to a kettle, it will boil slower, so you'll use more current. You can't rob physics. Energy can't be created or destroyed. There is no fucking perpetual motion. It doesn't fucking work. That. Oh, don't
I was on Instagram the other day and there was one.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Was this some... Whenever I see perpetual motion machines on social media, it's always some shit box out in the middle of some loser country, cobbled something together out of a fucking
sheets, aren't they?
busted tractor or whatever. You think there are scientists out there going, oh, fucking hell, why didn't we think of that?
How much are they? How much are them boards? About 700 quid, aren't they?
Yeah, they're in the high hundreds, mid to high hundreds.
If that saved money, right, like they claim it does, every DNO, every single substation would have one on it. Every thing you would have one on it.
That's my point. If they worked, they'd be built into every bloody consumer unit. Hager would be making them.
Well, I've seen their website.
Wilex would be making them. Everybody would be making them.
Maybe they just hadn't thought of it yet. Maybe they've done something different. Wait, maybe they've done something different you don't know about.
Technology.
Maybe they've done something different you don't know about.
VoltSmart website is the biggest snake all over shit I've seen. All AI pictures, all AI text. The whole lot's a load of old
crap. How the fuck do you know that though?
I'm just looking at it. I can see it's all AI. It's just VoltSmart 2025. They coined it. They'll be gone in a week.
Now, they've been out for ages. Do you remember last time we found out about them? Well, I invited them on to have a conversation with you, which would have only gone one way because you'd have just ended up calling them all the names under the sun, which would have made you look dumb.
No, I wouldn't do that. I'd just literally say, what does it say? Be VoltSmart. More info on their board. Here are the boards on here. So it says, let me read this out. They're going to love this. High capacity energy. They can't even spell energy. It says high capacity energy. Efficient fuse board, energy saving. VoltSmart 60-way efficient fuse board is designed for large home single-phase business premises. It combines cutting-edge voltage optimization with enhanced fire safety and surge protection so you can reduce costs. It says it energy efficient, enhanced safety, high capacity installation, and it offers absolutely zero thing as to how it works. How's it work? How's it work? Explore.
This is Jamie doing what he does best. He's going to go down a rabbit hole now.
Grow your business smart. No one's listed on the partners. Oh, CF are listed and APS Creative Energy, whoever they are. Explore. Nothing tells you how it worked. ESG impact. Smarter energy.
Savo.
Go on the website. It's full of gobbledygook.
When are you going to get one of these and test it?
You can borrow this one. It's the same shit. I've literally got one here. This one's made by Matty. Who makes some not bad stuff.
So wait a minute. What is a voltage optimizer used for then?
optimizing voltage, but at a fixed rate. So it'll take any voltage. That one, I'll show you the side look. This particular one, it can input 235, 253, and it'll whip 18 volts off. So it'll take 18, whatever you put in, it'll take 18 volts off. So if you put in 250 volts, it'll kick out 220, 32, whatever it is. That doesn't do anything. The transformer gets warm, you have transformer losses, and people tell me that because I've reduced the voltage, I'll save energy. Shut up, you stupid cock. No, in fact, I've said it already in the show. Shut up, you stupid cunt. Yeah, not going to work.
Yeah, but so why have they made that then? What is it? What is it? What is its primary purpose? Like, why is that important?
Twats, that's what it's for. It's just
no, but why do voltage optimizers exist? What is their purpose? I know it's to reduce the voltage, but for what?
Because if you reduce the voltage, you apparently use less current. But you
don't. No,
don't.
dickhead. But why does that one exist?
This one? I don't know. That's Matty, what they think about it.
Because it ain't to save energy, is it? It's obviously to have another purpose. What's the other purpose?
Well, if you watch the Artisan video that also Rick's part, they put one in to bring the voltage down to work with their they had an over voltage problem on an EV renewable system.
Yes, they did. Yes.
And they, to be fair to them, they were offered a solution that they tried to fit, which was a voltage optimizer, only to find out that one, the electricity regulations don't allow it under G99, G98, and all that stuff. And two, they didn't fucking work because then at night the voltage went too low. So you're just fucking with stuff that don't need fucking with, basically. So like, don't buy them. Don't buy them.
Available now. It's all good CEF branches.
I've literally on my YouTube, I'll put in the show notes, there's a video called Voltage Optimization is a scam. I've yet to have anyone come at me. Big Clive agrees with me, for fuck's sake.
Mike Electrical Stuff agrees with you. Calls it electrical
Mike Electrical Stuff, see? Got Mike's Electrical Stuff. Yeah, Big Clive, me, we're all big players. If Mike's Electrical Stuff's on here saying it's bollocks,
he's saying it's bollocks.
Have you seen the shit he takes apart?
Actually, Mike's Electrical. Why haven't we had him on?
I've asked Mike. First of all, thank you for sending me my dongle. We sent me a dongle for my solar. Appreciate it.
Why haven't you come on?
Cool. I want him on. I want him on. He's a great guy, nice guy. Matt Dave's met him and got a badge of him. Sent me a nice thing.
Do you think it's because of you he won't come on?
It's because of what Mike's Electrical Stuff is one of the reasons why every week I produce an incredibly boring YouTube video, because there is nothing more enjoyable than watching Mike take apart some random bit of equipment. I love it. He's got a great YouTube channel.
Mike, are you going to come on? Say yes or no right now.
The delay is so massive now. We won't.
I'm going to send ninjas to kick you in the nuts.
That's probably why you won't come on.
Yeah. But he's good. Check out his YouTube channel. He takes part all sorts of mad shit. He's really entertaining. But yeah, if he says
that is like Callum Rowley, you need to have a word with yourself. Big Clive is God. His word is literally gospel. Why, you've got to allow yourself, man.
Big Clive knows where it's at. If Mike's Electrical Stuff and that are saying that, you can't. You've only got to look at their YouTube channel to realise they know what the fuck they're on about.
Yeah, yeah. Right, happy to come on anytime.
Volt Smart. Oh, Mike. Oh, great stuff, yeah.
Oh, here, Herr Thomas. Guys, just take a look at Power Perfector. We had one installed in schools to reduce bills. Did it work? Blessed be the word of Clive. Yes, come on.
Power Perfector.
Handmaid's Tale. Get in there, ZK.
Yes, I think Power Perfector. Are these near me? I do believe these are near Sheffield. I think these have gone bust. Oh, they're it's another snake oil website.
Yeah, but Herr Thomas swears by him. It reduces his bills, bruv. You don't know what you're talking about. This is why they need to come on and fight their battles.
Power Perfector Limited. Company
Shut up, idiots like you, bruv. What do you know about anything?
Power Perfector on the Mike Electric Stuff front. Sounds like he's up for it.
Power Perfector Limited. Guess what? Final Gazette, 5th of September 2017. They've gone bust, mate. So good luck getting that shit repaired. They went bust in 2017, Power Perfector did. Probably because, although their website's still on. I have to do a bit more research on that. But yeah.
Right. It's been an hour and a half podcast.
I am absolutely dagging for a piss.
Me too. I've already had one and I need another one. I drank 2 litres of
I can't leave the people hang on. A Power Perfector, that company's gone bust. Have they got a...
See, it's my fault. I set Jamie off on one by mentioning that.
Oh, mate. Why did you bring that up?
The energy efficient...
Could have done a whole other show on that thing.
Oh, hang on. Energy Saving Efficiency Company Limited. So the, Control V. Energy Saving Company Limited.
What am I even going to do the thumbnail as now? Like, this is ridiculous. We've covered so many topics.
Are you AIing your thumbnails lately? I
No,
noticed
no,
that they've got
I
a
don't like
certain...
them. I liked
I
it.
really like them. Energy Savings Limited. They are that power perfecter. Well, Energy Savings Limited. This is good. Which is Power Perfecter is a registered trademark of Energy Savings Company Limited. Yeah. Energy Saving Companies Limited. Why won't it show me the number? Got it. Registered in England and Wales. Number. Hang on, I've got to check this because 7236.
Would it be fair to say this was a chaos podcast?
This is the trouble. When you leave it for so long, you know, we've got a lot to catch up on.
Well, this is it.
But I can't
Dave,
believe
you could come on
whenever
whenever you want. You know you're the third wheel, but you never come on anymore. It's like, oh no, I have to wait to be asked because I'm so famous. Google me. I'm Dave O'Savo.
Energy Savings Company Limited,
Nobody's
which is what. So Power Perfecter on their website say they're called Intelligent Energy Savings Company Limited, number 09657236. When you go to company's house, they don't exist. So yeah, take of that what you will. I'd be very wary of anyone saying they'll save you money on this and don't list the company's number.
Right, listen, we're going.
What? Because we've got to go and pick up all the cease and desist letters that have undoubtedly landed on my doorstep during this podcast.
We're going to get one from Proteus, one from fucking CEF. And do you know what? Next week I'm going to tell the story about how I got bummed by
Can everybody
the
say?
Centre.
Can everyone send me any power quality? Not power quality.
Shut up.
Any seagulls? Any power optimizers you've got? Send me the company's name so I can have a look at them, and we'll do an old podcast on that. Wild lies. Every website for them looks like a bag of shit. So yeah, there you go. I will wait for you to sue me.
Right. So Electricians podcast. Fuck off.
Your mother was a snowblower.
Savo, do you want to add to that?
No, I think I'm done. I need a piss.
I need a piss. On your mum.